Howdy y'all, my name is Brighter Phoenix, and today I want to show you how to turn this into this. Let's get started. Alright, so today we're going to be painting the Marauder that comes in the Wings of Vengeance, the Marauder bomber. So, first thing to do, I think, would be to prime it up real nice and pretty. And so I'm going to do that right quick. Alright, cool. So using Caliban Green, I've gone ahead and primed this up. It's not very visible, but if I get the light closer, it is definitely green. I used my airbrush to prime them up. They are primed in black, then Caliban Green, if you think that makes a difference. Not Caliban Green, Castellan Green. This paint right here, which you can't read, but I promise you, that says Castellan Green. So primed in Castellan Green is the ship. Of course, you're going to want to let yours completely dry. Mine is still just a little bit shiny, if you can see. So it's not quite dry. But the next color you're going to want to get is going to be your lead belcher. I think that's the paint that every mini painter goes through a ton of. I'd hope not, but you know. Get your fine detail brush. I use a Fine Touch Liner 2. So just if you were wondering what I use a Fine Touch liner. It's a cheap synthetic brush available at most craft stores, such as Hobby Lobby. I believe Michael's. So next you're going to do is you're going to find all your silver details. You're going to find all your silver details and hit them up with some lead belcher. It's going to be stuff like the pipes. Are those cables there that lead to those reversed cameras? It's going to be stuff like gun barrels, parts of gun barrels, like in there. And it's going to be the main part of the engines. All of that's going to be silver. As well as stuff like the barrel tips there. Quite possibly that door, but I think that door is going to be gray, so those are all going to be silver. That cage is going to be silver, but that's going to be left until after I do the cabin. Same with the one here. It is also going to be silver. I'm tapping it there. But it's going to be done after the cabins are done. Because why am I going to spend all this time doing the edge highlighting when I'm going guarantee you I'm going to hit those panels when I do the cabins. So you can go ahead and leave those till last. Alright, cool. So you've gotten all the silver done, all nice and shiny. You stayed within the lines, got the engines. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to hit certain lines with Thousand Suns blue. And so those are going to be the stripes here on both sides. And the stripes on the dorsal fins. So I'm going to do those real quick and I'll be back. Alright, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get really brave with your shade pot and leave it open. And you're going to hit it with some... You're going to panel line with Athonian Camo Shade. To panel line, you get the wash on your brush. You find the panels. I'm sorry, I can't quite see that. And then you just simply follow along the panels. So those panels will darken up some. Well, not the panels will darken up, but the alternatively, this can also be done with Nuln Oil or any other black wash you choose, or wash you choose. I would just recommend doing a green shade or a Nuln wash. So, I'll be back once that's done. Okay, so after the Nuln panel linings are done, you're going to take some Mechanicus Standard Gray. You're going to hit the corners. So these right here with Mechanicus Standard Gray. Also here. And this just breaks up the, not the surface any much, but it breaks up the color palette. Because right now it's just silver, green, and blue. And while yes, those three colors do look nice together, it does always help to have a third or fourth or even fifth color in there. So I'm just hitting up some areas I need to be gray. One of the places that I'm going to be making gray is this ammo pod here. Not ammo pod, bomb pod doors. Explosive doors. Yeah, those. And so, they aren't going to be silver, they're going to actually be gray, because I just imagine that they are. Plus, it gives a nice contrast to the steely engines. Not that this is going to be seen much, but, I mean, so what if it isn't? You don't normally see under cloaks, and yet I still paint there. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take and hit all of the open window panels with your lightest color. So for me, I'm going to be doing Phoenician Gray, because I want to reflect the sun in the sky coming off the windows. So hit all of those up. You can afford to be a little bit messy here. Don't worry about getting them onto these panels. We left them for last for a reason. And I'm going to pop back once those are done. Alright, so left hand firing next up. Squirrel. Anyway, so once you have the Phoenician Grey down, you're going to take your Caldor Sky again, and only on angled panels, you're going to take it and run it along the bottom of it, where the sky is going to be darker. Then you're going to take a wet brush, and you're just going to daub it on there. And let it dry. Once dried, it should look like there are a gradient between the two colors. So I'm just going to let that do that. Tap away some of the excess. Spread it out. And I will get back to you when that's done. Alright, so once you have the Calgar blue back down, you'll notice that I did leave the ones that are parallel to the sun completely blank, because they would stay completely blank. They wouldn't reflect a different blue. They may actually get a little bit lighter. Next, you're going to get your lead belcher back out, and very carefully, you're going to hit all of the panels around the glass. You don't have to do this carefully, but it's going to save you a lot of time later to do it carefully. So I'm going to recommend we do it carefully. And I'll be back as soon as those are all hit. And the last thing that we're going to do, or at least that I think I'm going to do, is I'm going to take some Screaming Bell, and I'm going to hit the outer casings of the upper engines. So that right there is what I'm going to be hitting. And I'm going to do that for all 4 engines, and I'll be back. Alright, now the next step is going to be to hit the tips of the bombs with silver, and hit the actual cones of them with yellow. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be back. Alright, now that the yellow caps are done, it's time to go ahead and hit the missiles with red, and I think that will do it for this model. And now that the missile caps are on it, this ship is ready to go.